I kind of like this a lot because it keeps the judges accountable. And I got some information on the infrastructure of the tournament. They're gonna have different judges for every division, right? So all 4 weeks are gonna have four different judges, a total of 16.
Mhm.
After the first round, the fans are gonna get to vote who are the best judges to move on.
Hmm. That's interesting.
So that is a little interesting, and I'm happy they're making the
Well, then
adjustment.
you're
Nobody
bringing
on the
on a
West should
whole
be able to
new
move
set of
forward.
judges.
What'd you say?
Fuck out of here. Nobody from the West should move forward because they're all gonna pick disaster to win.
Mm, mm, mm.
So the judging report pretty much is like this, right? You're gonna have a rating as to your vote against the fan vote to see how much you agree with the fan votes. So everybody in total had an average of 58%, but their lowest agreement was with Frack and Disaster. They went against the
Of
grain
course.
76%.
Of
So
course.
they were in the 24% while everybody else was in the 76. And we're gonna listen to some of these explanations because once they started doubling back, it started getting kind
Ooh.
of nasty. Let's listen to Kato's response.
Give me strength.
There's no getting around that. It ain't like it landed on the crazy bar. It wasn't like a haymaker. It was a preconceived. He 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 already thought. Okay, Diz, he gets temperamental during
Yeah,
battles.
he gonna
He
snatch
might
this.
snatch it. I'm
Yeah,
gonna pull this. It wasn't no bar though.
yeah.
Diz was winning that round clearly, and that's why on my scoring sheet I already had Diz winning the round. Like I had gave Diz a 9 already. He was starting slow in that round to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Frack was. He was starting really slow until he did that. Then it turned up. People have been giving this narrative like, oh, that's like a knockout. No. Hold on, my nigga. When Geechee Gotti did lay the title down and used the prop, that was at the end of a bar.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Well, I'm trying so hard with you, K-Dos, because I fuck with you, my G. I fuck with
Mm.
you. I fuck with you.
Yeah, that
But
moment of
that right there,
silence we all had.
that don't, you don't do it now, K-Dos. I was trying really hard, K-Dos,
Mm-mm.
because yeah, I don't. Because
Go
how
ahead,
can you
sister.
say that? But then you said at the night of the battle that it was a tie. So how could it be a tie? But you already had Diz winning the second by the time Frack pulled out the piece of paper. How?
Mm,
How?
mm,
How?
mm.
How?
Lucy, you have some explaining to do.
What is
Okay,
it? Is it
those.
a tie or did he win the round clearly? Because how you sounded on Geechee's podcast, you said Diz won the round clearly.
Yeah, man.
Apologize,
Kados.
says Rita. Rita says, apologize to me. Apologize to me.
Right. To me.
What about me? What about Rita?
You are not a
A
judge.
judge.
In my real sick voice, you are not a judge.
Listen, man, Kados, as a media personality, I rock with you, dog. You do great work. But you doubling down on this looks
No.
hella
Where's
crazy,
my
my
whistle?
dude. Like it looks crazy, big dog. And on top of that, you did have them tying. Like, just oh man, just admit that, yo, I did not stick to the guidelines that I was given. I messed up. But overall, I had disaster winning. Cool. We can move on. You know what I'm saying? But when you give this type of explanation, it makes people go, nah, you know what? Regardless of if it landed on a bar or not, that moment was impactful, and the stuff that he was saying afterwards definitely shifted the battle and took that momentum over. You know what I mean? But I can't tell you how to see a battle. I can't tell you how to explain what moves you as far as being a judge. But all I know is that the people them are not accepting this, big dog. Like, you're gonna have to wear this stain for a hot second, man.
And you know what? Like, this is my thing. Like Ledge from uh
Top
top
tier podcast.
top tier, because I can't even think. I'm so fucking irritated. Um, he even said it best because a lot of them were saying this after the battle too. Well, I didn't know much about Frack. Well, if you didn't know about these people who are you're judging, who are in a tournament, it's something called Google and YouTube. You could have used those two things and be like, you know what? I'm not familiar with this guy, so let me look at some of his past shit so I can get some familiarity. If I just made up a word, I'm sorry. You
Familiarity?
know,
Familiarity.
For familiarity?
Hashtag familiarity. Everybody, please hashtag familiarity.
Familiarity. Is that a beige word?
hey,
Familiarity?
if you playing Scrabble with me, I'm getting points. Period. But it's a word, nigga. I said it's a word.
Familiarity.
You should
$10
have
a lot of money, CC.
Familiarity.
$10 a lot of money. All right.
What did Big Worm say? The principality.
Right.
The principality.
Yikes, man. That was crazy.
Oh God.
But here's my thing also. Listen, you don't need to be familiar with any of these rappers to judge a battle in a vacuum. You're judging it based on bars, words, performance, all of that. So you don't need to see anybody's performance beforehand to say, here's who I think won the battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, all of us here have watched hundreds, if not thousands of battles. If someone called us to be a judge, to judge two dudes that we never seen before on some bubble league or whatever somewhere else, and we had to judge, we don't need to see these rappers. We could tell you who's better or not off the jump.
You
So
would
that
think,
one was kind of that was a weird explanation.
You would think, Flab, but that was all four of their excuse was I didn't know much about frat going into this tournament.
But that's terrible because you don't have to, man. You don't have to.
Nothing matters other than the production that happens within those, I guess, 6 minutes or
That's
8
it
minutes.
within that vacuum. That's it.
Yeah. So I want to talk about something real quick. We pull up a statistic, right? And this is kind of like the shift in voting, right? So this is like when judges vote on a battle live as opposed to the fans when the battle drops, right? So we're gonna look at Ultimate Madness 1, for example, because technically Frack and Disaster hasn't dropped yet. Ryder and Mike P had the biggest disagreements at 73%. The fans disagreed at 73% from the judges' decisions on real time. Fonz and Easy was another one at 67%. Gunpowder Pat versus Rubano, 59%. Jay versus Fonz at the finals, 57%. So these are 4 battles on Ultimate Madness season 1 and 2 where the fans disagreed over 50% with the judges. I think if Rita's still in the building, 3 of these are on your account, Rita. Am I not correct? I would love to hear your
Gunpowder Pat did beat Rudolph Bando. Yes, he did. In my humble opinion.
So I'm not saying nobody's wrong or right. I'm just saying for Rita, or she's still here. Can you please?
Shun, Gunpowder won, Shun.
Can you give me some insight as to why you think some battles can happen so differently off one watch, as opposed to when everybody gets a chance to have some clamor, some chatter, a narrative, and replay and rewind button? Like what? Because at this moment, Frack and this one at 76%, 76% different.
She said because you can digest everything better. So you know what? That actually plays into more why as Frack should be winning, because if they're going based upon what happened during those 6 minutes of rapping, you cannot tell me that Frack did not have higher highs and better bars and overall better everything than Disaster in that battle. Now, if you go back and say, oh, I like Disaster's multis better and what he was saying, his voices, inflection, whatever, and find your reasonings, that's cool. But if we're going just based off of those 6 minutes, I think they got that one wrong.
Yeah, the shift in voting from when battles drop and afterwards is really interesting to me, and it's interesting because the fans do get a chance to speak, so it's not like they don't have value, right? And this is the majority of people that feel this way. So it's like, are they right? Are they wrong?
Oh, yeah.
Or is it possible the fan vote isn't 100% accurate because we're watching the battle with a chat open, being distracted, texting, tweeting, talking on the chat, while these people are just watching the battle?
And not only that, fans have their favorites also. Fans have their diehards who, no matter what, they always win. So you got to take that with a grain of salt also. The judges are not supposed to, they're just supposed to go based off of the bars and the performances. But as we know, it doesn't always go that way. But some of these fans, no matter what, they're going to vote for their guy just because he's from their state sometimes. You know what I mean? So the fan vote got to take with a grain of salt. But when you see it overwhelmingly going the other way, like 76%, you got to go, hold up now. What's going on here?
Yeah, I agree. And that's why a lot of people feel like the fan vote, it doesn't really matter.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people feel some type of way about the fan vote because a lot of times the to the system, how we pick a winner, I don't know.
One day we will see a lot of adjustments. So at least we hope to.
It's going to be quite interesting, to say the least.
All right, let's get into the news cycle.